company that I'm going to introduce to you all. So we have with us for the next keynote address, which is Mr. Jayaprakash Chinnamuthu, who is the Director for Customer Experience at Crestron, India. And he has a great insight and knowledge into this particular industry with more than 20 years of experience in the AV and UC industry in general, and being a part of the Crestron family for 15 years now. Jayaprakash has outstanding insights into how companies and entities can take technology forward for their efficiency and usage. And with this, I would love to call on stage Mr. Jayaprakash Chinnamuthu to take on stage and introduce his company.
First of all, thank you all for this opportunity for presenting about our solutions in this forum, and the great insights from morning about how smart office and smart workplaces being changing in the current COVID situation. Just a quick intro about Crestron. We are a global company based at New Jersey. We have offices across the globe. Our 5-decade experience is purely in meeting and meeting room spaces and workplace technology. We have been helping organizations optimize their workplace and give a better experience to their users, their internal users within their organization. With this said, moving next is about our partnerships. Because today, if you see, each organization has got their own softwares and tools that they use in their day-to-day work. So some organizations use Microsoft Teams, some use Zoom, some use Google. So you really have your software tools as a part of your everyday work. So what we have done is we have partnered with these providers to ensure that we bring the space to the workplace to seamlessly collaborate and integrate with the tools that you are using. Next is about our clientele. Actually, this is just a partial of our clientele. We have a huge list of clientele who are there, who are using our technologies to enable smart workplace, to enable their employees work more efficiently and be more productive. Different areas is not just only about sensors and capturing data. It is about the experience and about the culture. If you see, there are a lot of insights and the analytics or numbers that we have seen from morning. And everything is about how many percentage of people are really wanting to come to office, how many people are wanting to work from home, how many people want a smart office, how many people wanted to have a different type of office than what is a traditional office. So there's a lot of insight and statistics. So I just skip this part and just go more into how we are really enabling them to work more efficiently in the current hybrid world. If you see, in the current hybrid world, it's more about teamwork. If you see, earlier, there was more amount of work being done and less amount of meetings. Today, if you see, it has almost become 50-50. You do half of the time you work and half of the time you're on a meeting. You're on a Teams call or on a Zoom call. So the number of meetings pre-pandemic and post-pandemic for each of us has really drastically increased. If you see, we are more on meetings today than actually doing the work. So it is not just only at the managerial level or executive level, even at the engineer level, there are more meetings because it's about teamwork. So how do we all collaborate together? And to make this work, there is always a lot of other things that have to work in synergy. So the modern IT is about synergizing between all these other things to work together. What we do at Crestron is to reduce the barriers for productivity. There are a lot of barriers in terms of productivity. Earlier, when you used to have physical meetings, you used to go from one meeting room to another meeting room, set up your meeting and have a meeting. There was a lot of time productivity wasted between those. But if you see, during the pandemic, it is a Teams call. So you're on meeting for the first 1 hour. So you end the meeting, you're joining the next meeting. So you have back-to-back meetings, which never happened pre-pandemic. Pre-pandemic, one meeting is done, you go for a coffee, then again come for the next meeting. It is never back-to-back most of the time. Of course, few of the times you do have back-to-back meetings. So there's a lot of productivity waste that was happening. Now, when you're going to return to work, how do you really enable the same kind of experience that you had when you are at home doing back-to-back meetings? Next is optimizing the resource management, how you are really going to make use of the same set of meeting rooms for more number of meetings that are there, leveraging data that is there to ensure how much meeting spaces I need to build, what type of spaces I need to build. If you see, what we do is empowering enterprises to have a better experience, or we call it as the enterprise experience. This starts from by entering the office. So when you enter into the office, it should be more welcoming. So where is at the reception, you have information being displayed, what is there today, what is there this week. So the reception has got a lot of technology that can bring into display information, show information to your employees as they come in. So signage, marketing, company messaging, all these are really very, very important. When you're going to go into the reception area, we also want to make it as more collaborative spaces where you can host your customers who come in. You want to do town halls. You want to really enable more collaboration even at the reception area. You also want to have short meetings, show your customers what you do, how you do. So there's a reception itself can be designed in so many different ways. When you go into meeting spaces, again, depends on your company, how you are collaborating with each other, whether you're using Microsoft Teams or Zoom, how it is going to come in natively within your meeting spaces. How quickly are you going to start a meeting? So what we are striving to do is to start a meeting in less than 10 seconds. So how can I really go and start a meeting within 10 seconds? I walk into the room, you should be on the call in less than 10 seconds. That's what you do on your laptop or mobile as well, right? You click the join button in less than 10 seconds, you're on the call. So what we are doing is bringing the same experience. If you see, if you walk into a meeting room, you go, everything turns on automatically by itself, and you just hit one join button. The same experience what you do on your laptop or mobile has to be enabled in your meeting space as well. That's where we bring in our expertise to ensure that the same experience is brought when people are returning to work. When you're entering the room, outside you see there's a room scheduling panel. It shows whether you're entering the right room or not. The moment you enter the room, the sensor knows that you've entered inside everything, including your display, your systems, your audio systems, everything turns on automatically, and you just hit one join button. And meeting rooms today, earlier video conference rooms were luxury. You had those telepresence suites only for the top executives. Today it is a necessity that every single room has to be video enabled. Every call is every meeting is a hybrid meeting. There's no meeting where all participants are physically present within the meeting room. There's always one remote participant who's there. So meeting rooms can be designed in a variety of ways that are there based on your unified communication platform. And also integrate other things into the same meeting space. Like for example, you're on a call, you add participants, you do all this, but I can use the same system to also control my lights, say make it more brighter, make it more dimmer, adjust my thermostat, bring down the shades, all on one single interface. So where you can do a Teams call, where you can add participants, where you can do a Zoom call, you can invite more people, the same interface should be able to do more things than just the meeting from the meeting space. You want to present wirelessly into the space, you're not carried your laptop, but you have your presentation on your mobile, you want to present into the room. So we at Crestron bring all this together on a same single platform from a meeting room perspective. Next is space management. So room booking, getting it integrated with your tools. Today, our mobile is already full of apps. Why to give another app? So what we do is the space management, we bring it into your existing apps that you've got, into your Teams, into your Outlook, into your Zoom. So whenever you do your Teams meeting or Zoom meeting, you also invite the space. So you really don't require another app to actually book a space. You can do it using your existing tools. That's where our partnership really comes into strength for us, where we partner with Microsoft, Zoom, Cisco, Google, so that whatever the tools that you use in your day-to-day life, day-to-day work life, you really use the same tools to also manage your space as well. And proactive monitoring, so you really don't require separate software servers to manage that. You can do that, again, using your same existing tools, where you can proactively manage and monitor all these systems and build an IT-centric system that is there, where you can even provide IT support sitting remotely. So everything is browser-based. You don't require separate softwares. Open up a browser. Every single device of Crestron is IoT connected. You don't require a separate device. Your unified communication device is a IoT device. Your conferencing camera is a people counting camera, which is an IoT sensor by itself. Your room scheduling system is an IoT device by itself. So we bring in everything together on the same single platform and really provide a IT-centric tool to manage and monitor all this. So here, if you see, this is the entire ecosystem of Crestron. If you see, on the left-hand side is what solutions we provide, different type of spaces that are there. On the right-hand side on the top is the technologies that we bring to enable those spaces. And on the right bottom, you find the partnerships of Crestron. So bringing all this together really works, brings the next generation workplace that is there. Because everything cannot work in silo. You'll have to have your meeting room to do a Teams call, and when you provide the feedback, the 5 stars that are there should go back to your IT software to give you analytics as well. It's not all working in silos, so everything has to work hand in hand. So here, integration and partnerships and technology, the hardware, all this brings together from Crestron really makes it work more easily for the customers. So our customers, they don't use separate apps or they don't use separate tools. They use their own productivity tools that are there, and we ensure that all works together. Now, all this may be very complicated for you because most of you are either from the facility team or from an interior, from an architect, which all this looks like Greek and Latin for you. So how do I really impose all this into my design? How to bring in all this into your systems that you build? We have a in-house team in Crestron which can work closely with your team to really bring in all these technicalities, provide you solutions. And from morning, we've been hearing the same thing. One shoe doesn't fit all. If you see, do you really need an office? Don't need an office? Depends on your work culture. A Twitter employee can always work from home. A GM employee has to come to office. He has to design. He has to see a physical part. He has to touch and feel how the part is. The nuts and bolts have to be physically touched and feel. So it depends on the organization to organization. But office is going to exist for sure. So what we do is we build these workplaces depending on the organization. Because you're a design organization, you're going to build a car, you really need to come to office to really collaborate with the different teams that are there. You need to touch and feel those spare parts that are there. Whereas you're going to be IT's company where everything is soft, you really need not have that, but still you have to come to office to really say, synergize with your team, build your team and things like that. So there's a wide variety of office spaces that we have really been working with customers to bring in their experience. Our products are the hardware that are there, but the software behind is very flexible. We can give you a lot of examples of the offices that we have built in India for Indian customers, which are specifically designed for their work culture. For example, if you're going to take an Indian company, for example, if you take Tata Group, we have done the Tata headquarters. Their requirement was different. Say, for example, they want a coffee. They always want a butler to come there and serve them a coffee. So they wanted a butler call on a Crestron touch panel. The other side of it, when I'm going to take a Microsoft Office, even the topmost executive want a coffee, he has to go to the cafeteria and make a coffee himself. So the work culture itself is different from organization to organization. And the tools and the hardware within the meeting space or within your room has to be as per your corporate culture. And I should not make something and stuff it into you. So that's how we have been building spaces, workplaces for our customers, where our hardware is the same, but it works differently depending on your work culture. So we build it, the software pieces inside, configure the systems as per your needs that are there. And that's where our great design team here really helps you to build as per understand your work culture and build accordingly. We have a beautiful experience center in Bangalore. It's in the RMZ Eco World, where you can come in with to experience yourself. You can bring in your customers, you can bring in your team to really know how all this works, because seeing is believing today. We have never done a job without a proof of concept. We show them in our experience center, we show them how it works in their environment. The network of a bank is different from a network of a manufacturing company, from a network of IT service company. So things work differently in different organizations. So having our equipment running on your network, how it works, can this be possible on my network? Mine is a banking company. Does your devices comply to my InfoSec standards that are there? Mine is a manufacturing company. Does it comply to that? So all these are questions that come and finally end up in a POC. So come to our experience center, see the technology, choose what you want. We'll show it working in your environment, and then you decide to buy. So these are some things which really help. And I think all of us are in the end of going for lunch, and thank you for sitting and patiently listening to what I said. Of course, I try to crush a lot of things because we have 3,000 products in our product portfolio. And for me to present everything and each and every technology is very, very difficult. But what you can easily remember is meeting room technology and Crestron. So whenever you need anything in meeting room or a smart workplace and you see Crestron, you'll really be able to correlate both. So call Crestron whenever you want a smart meeting room. We are there to help you. We also have a booth behind. During lunch or break, you could visit us. We can brief you about what we have. Of course, visiting the experience center is something that you should never miss when you're going to build a new office or you're, say, consulting to someone to build a new office. I can tell you when the Tata Group, we built the Bombay House, the technology for Bombay House over there. They made sure that they flew all the way from Mumbai to Bangalore to visit our experience centers to see what is there before they take those technology and apply into that. Not just Tata, we have done a lot of headquarters in India, across the globe. In terms of technology within meeting spaces, it is very, very customized. It has to be customized. And we are there to make it customized for you. Yeah. Thank you all for the opportunity, and thank you so much.